go outside. The snow is falling down, and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me, with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be sharing these 4 DIYs with you guys today. 2 of them are Christmas and 2 of them are winter, and all of them use some sort of thrifted or trash to treasure item. So I hope you guys enjoy these as much as I did, and let's go ahead and get into the video.
Let me give you a Christmas.
So the first thing I'm going to be using are these wooden plant labels. I got these from the 99-cent store. And then I'm using one of these wooden slats. This pack came from Walmart. It was less than $2.50. And I'm measuring how many of the fence posts fit across that wooden slat. And then I'm going to paint everything gray in the color Mineral from Waverly Chalk Paint.
Making plans for what we're gonna do. I feel so blessed that I can be with you.
So this is actually the thrifted item for this DIY. I went searching for a lantern that was even smaller than the ones Dollar Tree carries, so I was very excited when I found this at Goodwill. I am just painting it black. I'm using the Dollar Tree's acrylic paint, and I wouldn't suggest this for plastic or metal because after a whole day of drying, the black was still coming off all over my fingers. So just keep that in mind. I'm using some of these little wooden craft cubes from Dollar Tree, and this is just going to act as a support to help hold up the fence. So I cut my fence down at a diagonal angle, and after I cut those down, I'm flipping them over and securing them all together with some smaller craft sticks. I took a large craft stick and I cut it down to fit on the front of the fence. I just wanted to add a little bit more detail to the front.
Let me give you a Christmas.
Originally I was going to use this screw hook to hang the lantern, but it was too short. The lantern was hitting the fence. So I ended up using a long nail and just stuck it in there instead. So I had this wreath from last year, and I'm just cutting off some of the berry wires and wrapping it all around the top of my fence like a vine. Then taking some cotton balls, I'm just shredding them up into really thin pieces and gluing them onto the top of the fence with some Mod Podge and also down around the sidewalk.
We're holding hands to keep each other warm.
I'm using these fairy lights I got from the 99-cent store. This wire is very long, so I glued the battery pack to the back as well as the part of the wire that doesn't have any lights attached to it.
By the fire, 'cause all I want is to spend this day with you. Let me give you a
So then I just string the rest of it up and down the fence a couple of times and then back up to where the lantern will be hanging. And I needed these lights to stay together, so I wrapped them around this pencil and formed a tight little spiral curl.
so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby with.
Then I fed it through the back of the lantern and wrapped the wire around one of the back posts just to keep it in place and keep the lights staying inside the lantern, and then I just bunched the rest of them up and shoved them in there.
Hold you close, you know the stars are shining just for you.
Then I just added a little bit of glue to the hanger and also to the nail just to keep it nice and snug in there. And then I had this little tiny white plastic pine cone. I know you can't really see it, but I added it down there in the corner, and then that was it.
Let me give you a
So that's the finished product. I am so in love with this little fence. I don't know about you guys, but this one might be my favorite from today. It's so pretty at night with all the lights off. I just think that this is so, so cute. I'm so happy with the way that this came out.
So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby with you.
So moving on to the next DIY, I found this cute little mailbox at Goodwill. It was either $2.99 or $3.99, and it just has some paint wearing off. So I'm going in with this apple barrel red paint and just giving it a coat. And then when it dries, I'm going to write on both sides letters to Santa. I am not writing anything fancy, it's just regular old cursive, and then I will go over it with my white chalk pen. So then I spent a good long while trying to make a tiny little envelope. You can see my first try here. I made just a square and I wasn't happy with that. So I spent some more time, figured it out, and came up with this little shape. So I copied it onto a new sheet of paper and remade the envelope just so that the new envelope wouldn't have all of the folds and creases that the practice one did. And then I glued all the tabs down in place, and on the back just wrote Dear Santa.
While we stand and watch a choir performing all the Christmas songs that we love. Yeah, all the Christmas songs that we love. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is
So I just put a little dab of glue on there and stuck it onto the mailbox, and I think that this one came out really, really cute.
so beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby with you. I don't need any presents.
So this DIY, I'm using two of these shadow boxes I got from Dollar Tree. I'm taking the backing out and using the glass as the back instead. Then I'm taking a piece of twine and just measuring the inside of the boxes, cutting my scrap paper down to size. I had this from last year. I got this paper from Hobby Lobby, and I didn't have to glue this down. It fit really nice and snug in there, so I just placed it in there. Then I'll be taking this microfiber car cleaning cloth that I got from Dollar Tree, cutting that down to fit on the bottom floor of the shadow box, and then gluing that down with some hot glue.
Let me give you a Christmas moment we'll fill with love and joy. So beautiful, kissing on a mistletoe, baby with you.
So here is the trash to treasure item for this DIY. I had these I saved from some roses. I've had them for about a year, and I kept telling myself, don't throw them away, you're going to use them one day. So I spritzed them with some of this snow spray, and then I'm just cutting them down to fit inside these boxes.
Ooh. And in a while we're gonna go inside and drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want is to spend.
So then I printed out 3 different images of different size deer, folded the paper over, and cut out each of these images so that I could make 2 at a time. So then after I figure out the placement of where I want my branches, I'm going to place my deer in there, see where I want those to be, and then I'm going to start gluing everything down.
Let's go outside, the snow is falling down and every child is having so much fun. The snowman is twice the size as me, with a smile as quirky as mine. We're holding hands to keep each other warm while we stand and watch a choir perform.
And here is the finished product of that DIY.
And in a while we're gonna go
So for the last DIY, I found this cute little bench at Goodwill for $2.99, and I didn't like the back of it because it had the outline of Santa and the reindeer. So I took that off and sanded it down, and then I'm going over it with the same red paint that I used on the mailbox. I ended up having to paint this bottom area black and then go back over it with red again because that little Merry Christmas white letters would not go away. So I'm taking some of these large craft sticks, cutting them down to the width of the bench, and then I'm going to paint those red as well, and also a regular craft stick, I'm cutting that in 2 pieces and painting that red as well.
knows that I've been longing for ya. Just wanna hold you close.
The last thing that I'm doing is gluing all of it together. So I'm taking the large craft stick and gluing it to the back of the bench, and then taking the 2 smaller ones and gluing it to the back of that, and then taking the final craft stick and gluing it onto those.
Drink our chocolate by the fire. 'Cause all I want
And here's the final product.
with you. Let me give you a Christmas.
So I hope you guys enjoyed some of these DIYs and maybe found some inspiration to do your own thrift, recycle, or trash to treasure. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Mistletoes, baby,